Explained by the Billy Meier contacts. Mysteries, myths, legends, conspiracy theories, historical inaccuracies, and more. Compiled by David Chance, revised October 18, 2023.
Earthquakes general. See also earthquake, China Tangshan, 1976. Contact report 863.
But corruption is also a given with regard to many companies and corporations involved in exploiting the planet's resources. So Svath and I, have also seen the consequences of this, that in many cases there are corrupt machinations behind the exploitation of the planet, whereby the planetary order is also out of control. Because of these exploitations, unusual shifts of the Earth's plates already occurred more than 6 decades ago. These began to shift unusually, which led to the severe earthquake in Morocco at the end of February 1960, and claimed many thousands of victims. And in this respect, it must be said, it was never fathomed how many victims there actually were, namely very many more than was estimated, as exact clarifications by Ascot revealed. I saw this with her at the time when I asked her if she could take me there where we looked at the whole thing. And what happened then will happen again in the next few days, claiming thousands of human lives again, this time in parts of the Atlas Mountains. The quake is something that is connected with the machinations of the Earthlings, and is partly unnaturally generated, which is of course denied by the seismologists, etc., because they want to know everything better. This, like the climate, that is to say the climate change, was created by the irresponsible Earth humans' machinations. And this because the mass of the unstoppably growing overpopulation needed more and more products, whose raw materials for the production of these products were snatched from the Earth, which then also poisoned the atmosphere through their exhaust fumes, CO2 and other pollutants, waste and rubbish, etc., and finally thereby produced the change, that is to say, the destructive change of the climate. As a result, the climate began to go crazy, and since then, huge storms have been sweeping through all countries, causing gigantic destruction, but also costing many human lives, as is currently happening not only in the north and south of Europe, but also in America, South America, Canada, and Africa. If I remember correctly, Libya will also be hit by such a storm in the near future, and thousands of human lives will be lost. However, I do not remember exactly what it will be. The sea will play a nasty role in it, as well as something that will be damaged. Now, the constant and unconscionable as well as irresponsible huge exploitations of the Earth's resources, the greedy and excessive exploitation of the planet for monetary gain by companies and corporations that bring about these machinations through the greed of overpopulation, have all brought bad consequences for the climate and the Earth, and they will bring much worse. I know this from Svath, who was also able to prove the whole thing to me and let me see many things. Also, the very great danger in the middle of the 2030s, when the whole Earth will be threatened. I know this because he let me see what will happen then, as well as what will ultimately be the evil consequence of this, if the Earth's petroleum, iron and coal, gases and metals of various kinds, etc., continue to be robbed from the Earth. In addition, I know that a much greater negative effect is being exerted on the entire Earth and, of course, on the Earth's plates than the geologists and other scientists suspect and claim. Obviously, they know nothing at all about how damaging, dangerous and destructive the whole exploitation of the Earth's resources is for the planet itself, and creates an imbalance on it, as this also affects the Earth's plates, which normally rub against each other or push over each other, whereby slight earth tremors up to very severe earthquakes can be the result. Something that also happens naturally and is normal for the planet. However, as a result of the immense exploitation of the Earth's resources, the entire relationship of the natural planetary relationships is out of kilter, resulting in natural occurrences that can only be attributed to the ignorance and guilt of human beings. This means, of course, that not only the planet, but also all its ecosystems, and thus of course nature with all its fauna and flora, as well as the atmosphere and the climate, are affected and badly affected.
Contact Report 865.
I remember that Yer Svath said that earthquakes actually only occur at depths of up to about 750 or 800 kilometers. Furthermore, earth tremors, always assuming that I remember Svath's explanations correctly, would usually be normal earthquakes at depths of up to about 75 kilometer, and he called these shallow earthquakes or something like that. Those that occur at depths of about 75 to 320 kilometer kolon were called medium-deep earthquakes, after which he called them deep earthquakes from a depth of about 320 kilometer kolor. Earthquakes, however, do not occur evenly on Earth, because the geographical distribution of earthquake areas is such that more occur in certain areas than elsewhere, which is also connected with the planetary self-rotation, as well as with the respective different composition of the continental plates. In particular, the strength respa, the hardness of the material of the continental plates that push over each other with great violence. Although there are also smaller plates, as Svath said, plays an important role, as well as their formation. The shaking during strong quakes can have quite catastrophic consequences, depending on the fracture process of the earth plates colliding and rubbing against each other. If we look at the dependence of the type and size of the fracture process, that is to say the friction between the Earth's plates when they push against each other, by which I mean the processes of earth plate displacements, then I find the process quite interesting. Earthquakes are actually caused by fractures and shifts in the Earth, that is to say in its subsoil, which then cause the tremors. This process can last from a few seconds to several minutes, so the earthquake tremors can be shorter or longer, as can the intervals between one earthquake and the next. Earthquakes can even be felt in the sea, or so-called seaquakes, as I have also experienced several on ships, when they came roaring up through the ship from deep below and caused tremors.